Hello everyone, this is Gorax, and today I'm gonna show you how the Frost team does against the endgame boss in Season 2 Mekkatorque. So this team that you can see on the screen in the Chinese version of the game managed to do over 700 million damage against this boss. Sadly, my psychic core is terrible this season as they just fast forwarded to the end game, basically skipping the whole otherworld exploration, so I have no solvent. But I don't think that's the only reason why I can't hit what they hit. My team is able to do over 200 million, but only around 217 million damage. I have no idea how they've done it. But this team does work. You can still do over 200 million, and it doesn't really require a lot of effort. So let's go over it, and I'll also show you another variant of this team. So what makes this team click is Donella. I don't know how they've done it in the Chinese version of the game, but they had over 100 skill haste on her on top of the Rift Hourglass, so they were able to run this ultimate every 15 seconds. The equipment I have on a test server does not allow me to do that, so that might be the answer to how they've achieved that. So anyway, yeah, that's how you build Donella in this team. Emissary. You want Forest Canopy. When the wearer is inflicted with negative effect, 50% chance to apply a recharge speed penalty, which will increase damage by 10%. We have 20% damage increase here, so that's 30%. We got stunned, so we're taking less damage, which means we can survive. And there's healing prohibition as well. So look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, and now 4 debuffs coming from Donella alone, which increases the damage of the team by 40%. Looking at the boss mechanics. Taking into consideration we have heroes who apply Frost, that's already 50. So Olgan has been built with full damage. The Frost, this artifact, well, the Frost inflicted is not dispellable. After the wearer successfully inflict Frost on the enemy, cold damage dealt will be increased up to 5 stacks. They've been building him with 4 mythics, focusing on attack, crit rate, and crit damage, and he was apparently doing a lot of damage. Maybe it's the placement or something, but it's very hard to utilize this damage here, unless his damage is coming from another source. So we have this Frozen here, which will also increase the damage by 10%. So it's a lot of extra damage here with this team, but I just couldn't recreate the damage. Rava with Witch's Remains and 3 emblems, as well as this, you know, because there's no other choice. Well, we could use any offensive one, but it didn't help much. Rava is built with attack, accuracy, and defensive stats as well to survive. Then we have Losenia, again, a weird build on Losenia using Frost Globe, which means the chance of granting in statuses is increased by 20%, although she is the second damage source. So once again, I was a little bit baffled and I couldn't recreate how this thing worked. Obviously, you will have more Frost thanks to that, but that's what they use, and they managed to do 700 million unless there was some kind of a bug. We'll use Ardref with Gatekeeper Staff, build her with a little bit of resistance, and focus on skill haste to make sure she's got 15 second or below cooldown on her skills as well. So if you manage to get 15 seconds, the shield that she will grant is quite good for survivability because Donella doesn't really bring much to the table. But it did work. Okay, over 200 million is achievable. When it comes to skill timings, these are the skill timings that I used. There might be different skill timings. Maybe the idea is to get the team to 15-second rotation, which might be possible, but probably hard to achieve. And again, we'll have Donella casting her ultimate. As I said, if you manage to do it, 15 seconds is what you are aiming for. I couldn't do it. So it's better to time it for 30 seconds when the minions spawn. And then rotation Rava, Olgan to increase the attack up of everyone, and Losenya as well, 30-second rotation. When it comes to the talents, let me quickly show them to you this way so you can see all of the talents of each of the heroes. And I'll show you also another variant that did a little bit more damage, but obviously required more investment. So I'm gonna use Vita and I'm gonna use Vidmir. I don't think Vita is necessary here, but in the original season 2, Vita was doing pretty solid damage, as she can really do a lot of damage to these minions. Obviously better placement might be required for her to target everyone, but this is phase 2, so you can see the stun, which will basically reduce the damage significantly. But it's all about Vidmir in this team. Despite having Vita, Vidmir is doing a lot of damage, so if you can make him stronger and bring in a support Olgan, for example, instead of Vitar, you will do really well. But the idea is pretty much the same. Vitar and Vidmir will be the ones doing damage. Losenya will apply debuffs, will have Ardrev mitigating damage, healing, and we'll also have Rose with this set to apply Frozen, although, you know, we have that Frozen through other heroes, and we'll also use attack penalty through that and recharge speed penalty, so we have 3 debuffs here. When it comes to skill timings, they are pretty simple. As you can see here, the reason why we have Vidmir on 14 seconds and then default is on 14 seconds he will be very close to or kill, depending if you were above 200 million or not, and the little spawns the minions, and when they start dying he will recover energy, which allows him to cast this ultimate one more time. Now ideally you want to manually hit the boss, okay, because I put it on 14 seconds and default, which means there might be occasions where he hits the boss before the minions spawn. So once again, this is the team that you probably want to manually cast, and I just can't do it on a test server. There's no reason for that. As long as I have a template, I can explain that to you and you can utilize that. But yeah, maybe you have an idea how to boost this team, as there's a lot of other Frost heroes. I tried the old team that I used, which was Drist instead of Vitar. That's what I used in previous season, but I didn't do really well. So yeah, maybe if you watch the Chinese videos, you know exactly how they utilized that team and did over 700 million damage, because I'm totally baffled. Hopefully some other content creators will have time to test it, but not on a test server, as this is the last day of this boss and I have other teams to cover as well, so you guys have an idea how to build your teams. Once again, thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Bye.